but for some of us it is morning. So I want to start off by saying I've already had a bunch of leaders on my team who this month, although it's so great that we get to sponsor so many people because we have this amazing opportunity, they get really discouraged because they sponsor, 5, 6, 7 people, and then only 2 or 3 of them actually stick with it. And I want to start off by saying, do not beat yourself up when you have recruits that flop. That as long as you're, what is the word I'm looking for? You're making your training consistent all the way across the board. Like as long as you're doing the same thing for all of your recruits, you cannot hold it over yourself, hold it over your head, wear that weight when they do not succeed, because it does not fall on you. You are going to have people who flop. You're going to have people who maybe are good for a month or 2 and then they just change their mind. It's totally normal. So do not stress yourself out over it when you have flops. It happens to all of us. Just take a breath, and that just means you're one step closer to a recruit who is actually going to work their business. Morgan always says only 10% of the people are going to do 100% of the work. So live by that. Literally live by that. You're going to be so surprised when you start to grow your team and see, I may have recruited 10 people this month, but only 2 of them actually stuck with it. So don't beat yourself up over it. Let me say that. Let me start by saying that. Now, I also want to say that in months like this where you are recruiting a ton of people, you've got to find a way to train your teamies that isn't going to absolutely drain the heck out of you. You do not need to be spending every second dragging people through the mud or, holding their hands through it and pulling them. You've got to find a way to train your teamies easily and fast. So the best way to do that is to have some sort of onboarding system in place. Systems are so important, but having an onboarding system is important. Don't just fly by the seat of your pants every time you get a new recruit. Don't just expect them to do the first things first checklist and then leave them high and dry. You've got to have some kind of system in place. So the best system that I have found so far is the, Lord, I just lost my train of thought. The, making a welcome post, obviously making a welcome post. In your welcome post, I have step-by-step. This is the first things first checklist. This is the YouTube videos that Morgan has made on training for day 1 through day whatever. As well, I have in there helpful groups that help them join. The number one resource that my new teamies, each time I have a new team member who either hits certified or who hits shooting star, sensational star, I always try and go back and ask them, hey, what was the number one resource that was provided to you that helped you succeed? And each one of them have said it's the mock party group. So that has been what has helped my teamies succeed. And I'm going to tell you all about it. So the mock party group is basically, I have made a mock launch party group and a mock party group. It is literally a group that goes step by step, every post they need to make, XYZ, for a launch party and for a regular everyday Facebook party. I also have included on those the Visly template codes for those and a Visly training video. So in the welcome post, there is do your first things first checklist. Here is all of your YouTube videos on getting started. Here is a Visly training video, and here are the groups that are going to help you start your mock launch or start your launch party with these mock launch party groups. So setting up the mock launch party took, an hour out of my time, maybe. And now I'm able to change the template up when it gets spring or when it gets fall. Takes, 20 minutes, and then voila. So literally all I'm having to do is tag my teamies in the welcome post and say, hey, go through this XYZ. And then I have a new teamie coaching guide on my phone. So how you have a host coaching guide that you copy and paste and send to your host every day, or you, some people schedule the text alerts through Visly or whatever you do. I have a host or a new teamie coaching guide that I will send something to this teamie every day. Hey, have you started your first things first checklist? Hey, have you got a chance to look into sensational star? Hey, have you got a chance to look into shooting star? And it's kind of just like spread it out so that they're not super overwhelmed and you're not super overwhelmed, so that you're not starting out, hey, do your first things first checklist. This is sensational start. Then you need to work on, or this is shooting star. Then you need to work on sensational start. And then we have to get you certified. And then we have to get you a raise. And then we have to get you a teamie and a lead. And yeah, don't do that. The number one way people are going to be like, this is too much, or I'm done, is if they're like overwhelmed out of the blue, like out of nowhere, and they don't know what to do. So you've got to streamline it. You've got to take it step by step, and you've got to not overwhelm them. So if you have time this weekend, make a system, put a system in place, even if it's sitting down and typing everything out on a Word document, and then just so you have something to copy and paste and you're not having to type it out, do it. If it's making a mock party group, do it. And everyone is more than welcome to use my mock party, use my mock launch party Facebook groups in their team as well, if that would be helpful to you. And like I said, the Visly template is in both of those groups, so that your new teamies, all they have to do is watch the Visly training video and then go type that code in on Visly, and they're good to go. So that's kind of how I've been focusing on onboarding, and I hope that is helpful. Yeah, that's about it.
Sorry. Okay. Awesome. Brittany, what do you have a video on your YouTube channel about onboarding from one of the programs, right?
I want to say I do. I want to say that I do, but if I don't, I'll be posting one on Monday, because we're doing the Dreaming of Director group right now for the star and above consultants. And I think that's what I'm pretty sure that's what I'm teaching on. So if not, I'll just post it on there on Monday.
Yeah. So if y'all want something that's probably going to be even more in depth, then that'll be good. Keep an eye on her YouTube channel, subscribe to it, and then you can turn on the alerts so that when she uploads, you'll get a notification. So, okay, let me put myself back here. Thank you, Brittany. Brittany's always got the best tips. Yeah, so I mean, it's all about just finding something that works for you that is duplicatable, because imagine if you're sponsoring 4 people in a week's time, like I just did. What if I sponsor 4 more next week and 4 more the next week? What if I sponsor 12? That's not 12, that's 16. What if I sponsor 16 people this month? Right, 12. I'm so bad at math. I don't think that'll happen, but that would be a world record for me. I think the most I've ever sponsored in a month was like 10 or 12. But what if I did that and I had no system? Plus I have a team of, I don't even know, over 400 people, a front line of 191, a group of 1,500. Like, imagine if I didn't have a system in place for that. So yes, like she said, it's going to be a little bit time consuming to set it up, but you've got to do it. You've got to have systems for everything. But this is very important, because your team members deserve to be set up for success. And like she said, not everybody's going to work. Not everybody's going to follow your guide. Not everybody is going to want the same thing out of this business, but get them onboarded correctly, give them all the same resources, give them the training. And guess what? When the ones who do the training show up, you're going to know this is the person I should be working closely with. The people who just want to be hobbyists, those are not people that you need to work closely with on how to reach their goals, because they may not necessarily have goals, or their goals may be a lot more simple, you know, like they're fine with putting in 50 PRV. Like they just want the discounts. So it will show you when people take initiative, when they join, when you send them those training guides or whatever you're sending them, it will show you who's taking the initiative. And I have a leadership guide. I've told y'all this a ton of times. It's probably, y'all are probably like, I know this, but I have not a leadership guide, a new team member welcome guide that I email to my new team members. And I have the email that I send them saved in my notes section. It has a hyperlink link to that guide, and it has a hyperlink link to my survey so that they can fill that out. I can get to know them. And it basically just says in the email that I send them, it basically says, welcome. Here is the link to our team Facebook page, or I'll just go ahead and add them. Lately, it hasn't been letting me add people to my own team page. I don't know why. Facebook's crazy, but I've just been sending them the link. But if anybody knows how to fix that, let a girl know because it's very frustrating. It's my own page and I can't even add people to it. But in the email that I send them, it says welcome. It sets expectations. So it tells them my business hours. It tells them when I'm not going to be available. It tells them where to go when they need help. Basically what the chain of command is. Chain of command. It tells them, here's your guide. It is very important to follow this video series, just like what Brittany does. And it tells them you have 15 days to earn the Shooting Star Award. That is your first goal. So go ahead and get your launch party set up and let's get you to that 500 in your first 15 days. That is all I mentioned. So like Brittany said, again, I don't say anything else about any other awards or promotions or anything like that. I take it step by step. And I have a tracker to keep up with that because, like I said, I have a huge front line. I recruit a lot. And if I don't have a tracker keeping up with who's where, and then you can use your reports for that also in your reporting tab. But if you're not keeping up with that, you're not going to be able to go, step by step how you need to. So when you see that they've reached Shooting Star, you need to be saying, okay, here's your next goal. Here's how you get it. And then you see that they promoted to certified and you're going to say, okay, awesome. Here's your next goal. Do you know what you need to do to recruit and start earning team bonuses? If not, here's a training for that. Do you know, make sure they're working toward the Sensational Start Award at that point. They need to know about these things. So, just take it step by step. That keeps them from being overwhelmed. And I will say, I used to require my new frontline to do the full video training series and their first things first checklist and all that before I would get on a one-on-one call with them. I don't do that anymore. As soon as they join, I get something scheduled with them so that we can just start to make an action plan for them, because I've shared with y'all the action plan calls. I'm still going to record one that I have next week. Because I don't do those until the second and third week of the month, but I will record that as long as she's okay with me recording it. And just getting them an action plan made is going to make things so simple for them because they're going to know exactly what steps they need to take. They need to know exactly what they need to be doing to reach their goals. You can help them figure out what's going to be best for them, what kind of party style is going to be best for them, and things like that. So getting them on the phone for that one-on-one chat is so important. And if they schedule the call, they schedule it. If they don't, they don't. That's on them. That's not on you. So I've recruited 4 this month, and I think I have 2 calls, and the other 2 haven't scheduled a call. So anyway, I like to go over their action plan and get them set up with that. And that sets the expectation from the beginning that, hey, here's how you reach your goals. You make a plan. Because so many people come into this and they're like, oh yeah, my goal is this, but they have no plan to make that goal happen. And that is just setting them up for failure. Hunter, could you not bark, please? The mailman's here. And if I have a package, they're going to have to bring up here. He's going to flip. Hopefully I don't. Let's be honest, I always have a package. Okay. I don't know. I guess Victoria wasn't able to get on. She's still not here. I was going to have her share some recruiting tips, but I'll see if she can just go live on the... See if she can go live on the leadership group and share some of her tips, because y'all, she's killing it. She's one of my frontline, and she joined, I don't even know when she joined, but it's been probably less than 6 months ago, and she's already superstar consultant. She's recruiting like crazy. Her team's growing. Her team's recruiting. They are just a very close-knit team, and that makes a world of a difference. Oh, let's just let him get his bark out. Hold on, let me look at the chat because there's 2 messages and I have not looked at it. Oh, Lord. Now, see, now he's making everybody else's dogs bark. I'm sorry. They have collars that zap them, but these don't actually shock them. They vibrate. And they would not ever bark when they had their zap collars. Now that they have these, they know that it doesn't zap them. And so they bark anyway. It'll be beeping and vibrating and all the things, and they don't care anymore. They're way too smart. Now Lily's still scared. You hear her. She's trying not to bark. She's like, okay. So that's onboarding tips. Find something that works for you. Find something that will properly train everyone the same. Don't worry about if they take the initiative or not. That's not on you. That's on them. If they want to do it, they'll do it. If not, meet them where they're at. Take care of them the way they want to be taken care of. Don't put pressure on them if they don't want to work this business. If they have a mindset shift eventually, that's great. But don't put that pressure on yourself. It's not up to you to motivate people. Honestly, it's up to you to inspire people, not motivate people. You just can't motivate people. Like, the motivation for people, it's going to come from something externally. Like, for me, I'm very money motivated. I'm very competitive. I want to be the best at everything. You'd never know that, huh? But seriously, I want to do the best at everything. I've always been that way my whole entire life. Anything I've ever done, I give it 1,000%, and I'm going to do the best at it. That is just who I am. And so, somebody like me, I'm going to earn everything. I'm going to reach all the goals. I'm going to do everything. Some people are not, and they're okay with that. But sometimes something external can come up that was not there when they first joined. And maybe they all of a sudden have something motivating them in life that they didn't have when they joined. And so they could have a mindset shift. I've had that happen so many times. I mean, Crystal Butler is one of them, and now she's a director and freaking killing it. So Dixie was another, and Brittany was another. It's crazy. So, oh, that's so awesome. Karen just said someone just knocked on her window and asked her about Cincy for her daughter who's going to UAB. That's why you have a Cincy decal, y'all. See? But yeah, I mean, it's up to you to inspire people. It's up to you to lead by example and show people what's possible and show them how you're working and tell your story. And that goes for leading your team and for getting new recruits. Tell your story, tell your story, tell your story, tell other people's stories. Just tell stories, because stories sell. I'm telling you, everybody who joins me, I'm not going to say everybody, but most everybody who joins me says on the survey that I have for them, says that they joined because they were inspired by me and my story. And that is what this is all about. It's up to you to inspire people and to inspire your team, not motivate your team. Okay. Keep it simple when you're recruiting. Keep it simple when you're like having conversations with people. Don't spew all the info. Focus on building relationships. Focus on getting to know the person. That way you know why Cincy is good for them, because it's good for people for all different reasons. We know that. But always have a how can I help others mindset. It's never about us. It's always about helping other people. And when you're a competitive person like I am, it's easy to get lost in that. It's easy to just want to recruit all the people because you need to reach a goal. And you can lose sight very easily of why you're actually doing it. And when you get back, you'll find yourself stuck if you ever get like that. And then when you get back to that mindset of, no, this is about how can I help other people? And for me, that comes in the form of I'm not having enough join conversations, because I have forgotten how it can bless people, or I haven't been as focused on how it can bless other people, or I forget personally. I've been doing this almost 7 years, and it's done so much for us and so many big things for us that I tend to forget about the small things that it's done for us. And those small things that it has done for us is what people are needing. That's what people are wanting. They're wanting to be able to fill their car up with gas. You know, like we've been able to do that for years now, but that's why it makes it so easy to forget that. And that's why I try my hardest to always remember where I came from and always remember the little things that Cincy done for me in the beginning and try to tell those stories. I don't know how many of y'all saw, but not too long ago, I posted a picture of me getting gas at the gas station. And I was like, this is what Cincy can do for you. I can go get a full tank of gas and not even worry about it with sky high gas prices, not even worry about it. And before I would go get like $5, $10 at a time. Like our bank account would not allow me to get any more than that. So those are the kind of stories you need to be telling, like those little small wins that are actually huge wins. It helped me pay all my credit card debt off. You know, like I quit my job. I have flexibility now. I can work my schedule around my husband's schedule. You know, there's so many things, and just don't forget to tell those stories. Tell every little detail of every little story that Cincy does for you. And it's not just about monetary things. It doesn't even have to be about things to do with money. It can be your personal growth. It can be your confidence. It can be the things you've learned about yourself, about life. This company, being a part of this company and being surrounded with the people I'm surrounded with and the mentors and Heidi and Orville, I have learned so many life lessons. And I have grown so much as a person. My confidence is insane compared to what it used to be. I went through a lot of things that killed my confidence. And Cincy has completely reversed that for me. Friendships. I have some of the best friendships now. And before Cincy, I never felt like I belonged in any of my friend groups. Like, I always felt left out. I always felt like I was different than everybody else. And I don't feel that now. So I feel like I belong now. Telling these stories is what is going to make people want to join you. And it's $20 this month. So, I mean, you don't even have to worry about that part. The $20 is not even an issue for the majority of people, especially when you make them realize, like, you about to go spend $20 on a pizza. So you do have the $20 to join, but the money is not even, and we have earn a kit. So that's beside the point, but just tell stories and talk about this every single day this month. And I'm telling you, if you're talking about it every single day and you're talking to every single customer about it, you're going to see some results. You're going to see some results. So what else did I want to talk about? I think, no, we've only been on here 30 minutes. So some notes that I had wrote down from a really good podcast that I listened to. First of all, if you're not listening to Jesse Lee and you're not listening to Craig Rochelle is a pastor, so his stuff is more geared toward it ties in with the Bible and all that, and I love that. But if you're not a super religious person, you will still love it, I think. Like, I love the way he teaches to lead. He teaches, to serve and love, and that is what we should be doing. So Craig Rochelle is amazing. They're my two favorite people to listen to on leadership. But I pulled these notes from a podcast I listened to from Craig Rochelle because it was just so good. And it was about inspiring and motivating. And he said that motivation pushes our team, but inspiration pulls our team. And I thought that was so good, because when you're inspiring people, you are bringing them, you're showing them the way, you're bringing them to the top with you, you're bringing them with you. It pulls them, it pulls the best out of them. And so I love that. So motivation pushes our team, but inspiration pulls our team. And he also said, if you're constantly having to motivate the people around you, then you probably have the wrong people around you, which is so accurate. If you find that you're having to drag your whole team or drag the majority of your team, then that means you just need to keep recruiting. You need to keep recruiting regardless, but you need to be focused on those people that have a fire under them, that are motivated, that are ready to go. Focus on, I don't care if you have one person on your team that is motivated and working. Work with that one person, because I'm telling you that one person could change your entire business. That one person could be your first director, your first star director, your first superstar director. That one person can change your business. So that is why it's so important to focus on the ones who are working. And I'll just tell you, we have, hold on, 100 and something. I don't even look. I'm going to tell you this. I don't even look at my will cancel report. I never have. I just don't, because I don't focus on the negative. And to me, that is negative. That is something, if I'm looking at that, it's going to make me discouraged. So we have 108 people on our will cancel list this month. Am I focused on that? No, I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on the people who are working and helping them reach their goals and building new leaders and recruiting new people. So don't focus on the people who are on your will cancel list and, trying to drag them and, force them to stay in this business, and don't dwell on that. It's just going to exhaust you. Focus on the people who are hungry and ready to go. They're coachable. They want to learn. Focus on those people. Recruit the many to find the few. That's my thing. That is like my thing that I've been saying for the longest. Recruit the many to find the few. Recruit 10 people to find the one or two that want to work. We love our hobbyists. We love our people who want to just get the discount, but the people who are going to grow your business and get you big paychecks are the ones who are working. So that's why we focus on them. That is so cool, Karen. She said, I told her about the special Kroger parking lot making things happen. I love it. So what else do I have on here? Our goal isn't just to, instead of trying to motivate your team, you need to look for self-motivated leaders, which I've already said, and it is up to us to help pull the best qualities out of those people, because they probably don't know that they're a leader, but you can see in someone when they join and how they work their business and how they show up and how goal-oriented they are and how much initiative they have, how much work ethic they have. You can see who is a leader, and they probably don't see themselves as a leader. So it's up to you to pull that out of them. And how you do that is you instill confidence in them. You tell them what you see in them. You tell them the potential you see in them. You point things out that you see them doing great at. That pulls that out of them. I didn't see myself as a leader when I joined this company at all. I didn't even want a team because I didn't think I could lead a team. I mean, I was co-head cheerleader and led a cheerleading squad, but for some reason I didn't see myself as a leader. And you know why? Because I was in situations where people killed my confidence. So I had none, basically. So I didn't think I was capable of leading a team. So you have to instill that confidence in people. You have to empower them, and you have to point those things out. All of us are women. We know that we usually don't believe in ourselves. And if you have somebody else believing in you, they will believe in you until you believe in yourself. And I've been in 7 years and I still doubt myself. So you're still going to doubt yourself, but you have to be able to identify that in your mind and say, no, killing that. I'm awesome. I can do this. I have value. My team is learning from me. I'm a great sponsor. I'm a great recruiter. Everybody wants to join my team. And to think about this, if you were a potential recruit, would you want to join you? Would you want to join your team? And that might be a wake-up call for some of you, because I know I would join my team because I know I show up every single day. People know I take my business seriously. People know I love my team hard. People know that I'm not going anywhere. And how do they know that? Because I show up every single day, not just behind the scenes, but on social media where people actually see it. They don't know you're working if you're not showing them. So I'm showing up every single day. I'm talking about how much I love my team. I'm talking about the success I have. I'm talking about the success our team has. I'm showing behind the scenes of the trainings I offer. I'm doing all these. I'm recognizing my team members where everyone can see that. So yes, people want to join my team. I know they do, but do they want to join your team? Think about it. And if you wouldn't want to join your team, figure out what you need to change to make yourself more joinable. Is that a word? So our goal isn't just to motivate leaders. Our goal isn't just to, what did I write down? What? Oh, I'm like, so anyway, our goal isn't just to motivate leaders. Our goal isn't just to find self-motivated leaders. Our goal, our big goal, is to inspire self-motivated leaders toward a world-changing mission. And if you aren't clear on what that mission is, that's the first problem. You need to be clear on what your mission is in life and how you want to change the world and how you want to bring people with you to help you change the world. Because you are a world changer, whether you know that or not. I'm telling you right now, you are in a business that will change the world and is changing the world. And so you, little old you, has that power. So if you're not clear on your mission and your values and what you stand for and what your team stands for and what your team culture is, work on that, because that's going to give you direction on why you want to recruit people and then how you want your team to work together and be a team. So your people don't just want to be motivated either. They want to be inspired and be a part of something that matters. And he was talking about how there was a study done that said employees who are inspired are more than twice as productive as employees who call themselves satisfied. So, I mean, that shows you right there that inspiration is so important and not motivation. Like, so many of you come to me thinking that you're supposed to motivate your team and that you're supposed to make your team work. And I say all this from a place of, I used to be that way. I have come a long way in my leadership in that way, because I started out, I'm a natural born people pleaser. And so I started out thinking I have to do everything for everybody. Why is this person not working? I don't understand, because I'm such a self-motivated person. I hold myself accountable. I don't need an accountability buddy to work out. I don't need an accountability buddy to make myself show up for my business. I'm self-motivated and I hold myself accountable. That's it. But I didn't understand why other people weren't like me. And I am a control freak also. So I wanted to have all the control over what they were doing and like, why are you not working? And trying to drag people. And y'all, it is exhausting. And then trying to please everybody in the way that you wanted to answer every single question they asked you right at that moment. And then it starts taking away time from your family. And then it starts taking away time from your personal business. And then people are just exhausting you with all of their questions because you're allowing them to. So I've come a long way since being that person, since being that leader. And I cannot tell you the relief that comes with that. I can actually spend valuable time with my family now, uninterrupted. And I get very few messages from team members, and I have a huge team and a huge front line. So changing that, changing what you allow them to do, basically how you allow them to treat you, is huge. So anyway, as a leader, you need to think inspire, not motivate. Think inspire and think about how you can inspire. So how do we inspire? Number one, think about how your leaders inspire you. Think about how your sponsor inspires you. Think about how your director, your star director, your superstar director inspires you. Think about how other leaders in this company that maybe you follow, or people that are your mentors, think about how they inspire you and try to carry that over into what you do and make it your own, of course. But think about how they inspire you if you're not really sure yet on how to do that. To me, that's a good first step. Like I said, have a mission, have a vision, notice people. Make sure people know that you see them. Make sure you know that they know that you see what they're doing, that you see them killing it at a certain thing. Point that out to them. Ask them to train on it. Ask them to share a tip. Make sure they know that they have value to add. Because like I said, you have to instill that in people. You have to instill that belief in people. They don't have that belief in themselves. Believe in your team. Focus on the ones who are working. Focus on the ones who are working and believe in your team. Show them that you believe in them. but have that belief in your heart. Let the control go. That was my big thing, was I had to let go of that control, because I am a control freak. So I had to just believe in my team that they could do this. And it wasn't all about me, and it wasn't all about me doing all the things. It's about letting them also do the things. And I have just, it blows my mind when I think back how much I've grown as a leader over the years. Be humble, show empathy, be a good listener, love these people as people, like care about them, ask about their life, ask how you can pray for them, ask how you can be there for them, ask how you can support them. It's not all about Cincy. Make them feel important as a person, just like you do with your customers. It's the same thing. And the most inspirational trait, what he said, and I love this, is to be a centered leader. So what a centered leader is, it means basically being fully engaged in the mission of your organization, being guided by values and driven by purpose and obsessed by mission. So if you need to write that down, I'll say it again. Be a centered leader. Be fully engaged in the mission of your group, your team, your organization. Be guided by your values. Be driven by purpose and obsessed by mission. And the best way to inspire others is to be inspired yourself. Because if you're not pouring your cup, you're not pouring your cup. If you're not filling your cup, you can't pour anything into other people. So how are you supposed to train on something that you don't even, you're not even training on yourself? Like, if you're not filling your soul and your heart with, and your brain, your mind with new things, you're going to just be repetitive and training on the same things all the time. And you have to grow. You have to fill your mind with new things. Podcasts, books, audiobooks. Like, I listen to something every single day. YouTube videos, Online Steps to Success, Allison Dalkey. They're amazing on that page. YouTube channels, like, it's unlimited, the resources of things that you can learn, and you need to be learning about the things you're weak in. If you're weak in recruiting, learn about recruiting. If you're weak in building a good team culture, learn about that. If you're weak in building relationships, learn about that. There's training for everything out there. So, and then teach your team the things that you're learning. Just like I literally am teaching you from a podcast I listen to. You got to fill your mind with all the things. So that you have something to teach others and pour into others. And if you're not inspired, then you can't inspire your team, period. So what is your mission? How are you filling your cup? How are you getting inspired? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What are you filling your mind with? Ask yourself those questions. Your life moves in the direction of your strongest thoughts. So, and another thing is, you only need to be good at one or two of those things. So all those things that I said about noticing people, being humble, having empathy, being a good leader, a good listener, all these things, like, you don't need to put the pressure on yourself of saying, I need to do all those things well. Be good at one or two things. I have weaknesses, but because I have so many strengths, or because I have one or two good strengths, that is what people notice. And that is what inspires people. They don't see the things that I see in myself that I suck at and the weak spots. They don't see that because they see my strengths. So you need to see that in yourself. You need to give yourself grace, and you need to really get good at one or two things and be good at those things. Yes, you can try to improve on other things. I'm always trying to improve on my weak spots, but give yourself some dang grace, because your team is going to give you the grace. So give yourself the grace. I know that I'm good at building leaders. I know that I'm good at growing my team, recruiting people. I know that I'm good at building relationships, but I could be a lot better at it, to be honest. I know that I suck at follow-up. I slack off on it every single week. Not because I don't love my customers. Like, I don't know why I slack off on it, but I know that. I'm not great at team building things and There's a lot of things I'm not good at, but everybody doesn't see that. They see they see my strengths and they see the good things. So just keep that in mind. But here's what I'm going to end with. So as leaders, we have to not control people. We have to believe in them and empower them. So not control, but believe and empower people. You can have control or growth, but you can't have both. That is something I learned probably a couple of years ago, and it made a huge difference in my business. Me and my husband have both had to learn that in our businesses because we're both control freaks. We're both very motivated people, and we're just like that person that is like, why are you not working? I can't understand. I don't understand your mindset. Why do you not want all the things? But we have to not control people. We have to believe in them and empower them. We have to not see problems. We have to see opportunities. Leaders solve problems. And that goes really well with like the LTOs and when things go wrong with that. And when we have product shortages and things are sold out and things are held up at the border, like, are you seeing that as a problem and reflecting that onto your team? Or are you seeing that are you seeing the positive in that? You really got to shift your mindset if you're not thinking positive about things, because there's a positive in everything. There's a positive in every negative, but you got to find it. And I used to be really bad at that. I used to be such a negative person. And that's another thing that this business has, this company, this business, this everything has helped me with, is to be such a positive person and have a positive outlook on everything. And if I'm going through something hard in life, I have to know that is not happening to me. It's happening for me. And I have to trust that there's going to be a good outcome. Eventually I'm going to see why that's happening. So we also want to not just motivate, but pull potential out of those around you. Like I already said, cast vision and inspire others to create a brighter future. That is why coaching is so important. Coaching people one-on-one, helping pull the best traits out of them, help pull their strengths out of them and identify those things, because like I said, they're not going to see it. So it's up to you to ask them questions and figure out what they're weak in and why they're weak in it, and figure out their strengths, pull those strengths out of them, help them see that, pull the potential out of them, show them that, yes, you are a leader and here's why. So yeah, that is basically all I had for y'all. That was just such a good podcast. And I was like, I can't not talk about that. It was just so good because he has a way with words that I don't have. And so I learned so much from him. But does anybody have any questions before we end this call? I really hope that this helped somebody. And thank you all for being on. I know a few people have got on since I was welcoming everybody on. So thank y'all for being here. I'll put this on YouTube too, so people can see it. Everybody can see it, even people who aren't leaders. There's something about having a team that just changes you. Like, it changes your outlook on everything, because you have all these people relying on you. And it's like they hold you accountable, and I don't know. It's just the best. It's seriously the best. It blows my mind that 7 years ago, I joined this company and said I did not want a team. That blows my mind that I ever said that, because now I'm like, what would I do without my team? I love y'all. But I guess nobody has any questions. So I hope y'all have a great Friday. I hope y'all have a great weekend. I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye. You're welcome.